I'm here in the woods actually making an episode for my main channel, TA Outdoors. I just wanted to address a question, or a number of questions that I've been getting over the last 2 to 3 years, is why don't you do any camping videos anymore, and why don't you do any building videos, the bushcraft shelters? And I guess I haven't really addressed it in a video before. I've maybe got back to people in comments, but I thought I'd make a dedicated episode to it on this channel, just to explain really why I've not done so much of that content and why my channel's slightly changed. I think we've got to go back to 2018 was where my channel, the main channel this is, TA Outdoors, got its biggest growth. I had the most views I've ever had. I've had the most subscribers I'd ever gained in a year, and really kind of successful series, things like the Viking House, the Saxon House series, the Roundhouse. I did a lot from that year onwards, and then I moved house with my family as well. So it was a massive change. We moved about 2 hours away with my family down to Somerset, and it was a big change in my life. Lots of things happened, and when I'd moved house, my wife was pregnant with our first child at the time, our daughter, and we'd moved house, and we were spending time on this house. It was an old farmhouse, 100-year-old farmhouse. Spent lots of time on it, and we got caught up in that excitement of when you first move house. Just checking on this fire I've got down here. We got caught up in this excitement of when you first move house, and you're experiencing this new journey with your family, my wife, and my dog. And it was just it was a lot changed, like I say. And it meant that because I changed area as well, I didn't have the woodlands that I'd used to be using up in Hampshire, so I didn't have as much variety of content that I could make. So I had to adapt. And as a result of this, I did the bunker series, because the house had an old disused World War II air raid shelter in it, and I knew that was kind of a risk to do as a series, but I thought, I've got to give it a go, because I need to make content with things that are around me rather than have to travel really far to do it all the time. And to be fair, the series was really successful with you guys, and I really enjoyed making it, and I enjoyed diversifying. It was the first time I properly diversified my content for like 6 or 7 years of doing YouTube at that point, and so it felt really good for me mentally and creatively to be doing something different. And then my daughter was born just before Christmas 2019, and that's when life changed. And you guys who have had kids know that you kind of think your life's going in one direction, and you've got goals and aspirations, and you're gung-ho ready. Especially, I was in my 30s at the time, early 30s, just turned 30, ready to go. And then you have kids, and your priorities totally change. And my life just took a total different direction. And I suddenly realised it's not all about me anymore, and it's not all about YouTube. And YouTube's this funny thing where you can get sucked into it so easily. It's a computer algorithm essentially, and it's designed to keep the human mind watching it, engaged in it as much as possible. And having my little girl made me realise that my priorities had to change, because I've got her to look after, and I don't want to get sucked into this world of this virtual world almost, and miss out on all the times that she would grow up, and enjoy that time with her. So as a result of this, I backed off the camping videos and the longer trips, the kind of 5-day trips and multi-day trips that I did, the canoe trips, the overnights and things like that. I backed off that totally, because I wanted to spend time with her, and obviously it was our first child, so the nights were really rough. She wasn't a great sleeper, and we had some really sleepless nights, and my wife was up with her a lot as well at night, and we still had my dog as well. So it was this balance of trying to still make a career from YouTube whilst also not missing out on my daughter's life. And I'm so glad I did back off that, because back off the YouTube, because it meant that I never missed a trick. I never missed anything throughout the way she grew up in that first year. So COVID also hit 3 months later when she was born. COVID hit, the world shut down. I was fortunate enough that in the industry that I worked in, I was on my own all the time, and I could still create content for you guys. And that was when I did the bunker series a lot. So I was really fortunate in that. But again, COVID put things into perspective, whether you believe in it or not, or whether you believe whether it's fake or real, it doesn't matter. The fact was the world did stop. That's real, that's a fact. And it made people put more perspective on life, that maybe they didn't want to put so much effort into work, and they wanted to be with family a lot more. And that's certainly something that happened with me. I wanted to spend time with my little girl and my wife. So that's another reason I didn't do many camping videos at all throughout that first year. And then the second year, and then as a result of COVID, we realised, well, as a result of having our little girl, we were a couple of hours away from family and we felt a little bit cut off. But all was fine, and we went through COVID, and it was, that first year was obviously a strange year for everyone. But COVID, as well as being far away from family and not being able to see them as a result of COVID, meant that they missed out on a lot of the first year of my daughter. This is, grandparents missed out on the first year of my daughter growing up. And so we decided to actually move back to Hampshire, the county of Hampshire in the south of England, to be a bit closer to family. I was closer to my family, Emma was closer to her family, and we were closer to friends and things. And that then, gave me a bit more freedom in terms of filming. And as a result of doing that, everything has kind of consequences. You always think about your regrets in life and what you would have done differently. But as a result of moving back from Somerset back this way, it allowed me, I'd saved enough money, and it allowed me to purchase the woodland. And I'm so pleased I did, because now I've got my own piece of land that I can actually film in whenever I want and practice woodland management and look after it, be a steward of the land. And it's opened this whole new world of videos to me, but also this whole new world of looking after nature, And it's just funny how things go. Looking back at it now, if I'd have stayed down in Somerset, I probably wouldn't have been able to have my own woodland like I do. And about a year later, we had my little boy. Last year, he's now just gone 1. And again, I didn't want to just go off on camping trips all the time, away from family. And once you have 2 children, your hands get really full, and those nights especially, they can be tough. So as a result of that, I wanted to spend time with my family, and that's the reason why I haven't done so many camping videos. And the same with the building videos as well. YouTube, at that time that I stopped doing the building videos of the Saxon stuff and the Viking stuff, YouTube then blew up, obviously, with loads of people doing it, and I just felt I didn't want to do that same content at that time as everyone else was. So that's the reasons, guys, why I've not been making or doing a lot of camping videos over the past few years, and a lot of the building videos. So basically a lot of the videos that built my channel into what it was. That's the reasons I didn't do it as much. And I apologise to you guys for obviously not making that content that you all subscribed to so many years ago and followed for many years. But at the same time, I'm really pleased with the decision I made. Yes, my channel didn't get the growth that it had done in the past. It would probably got 50% of the growth now than it was back then, but I'm a lot happier because I've got a family, I've got kids, I'm watching them grow up, they're bonding really well together with my dog as well, and it's just been brilliant. And I'm now at that stage where, because my kids are getting older, I'm actually getting a bit more freedom in terms of being able to, one of them's, my little girl's at nursery now a few days a week, my little boy's doing 1 day a week at nursery. So as a family, we're kind of growing and evolving and adapting. And I'm now getting a lot more hands-on with YouTube again, and I'm able to do more, because my kids are getting more mature. I'm able to do more things like camping. So the camping trips are coming back, and the building stuff can happen again. And it's just one of those things where I needed to just put things on the back shelf for a bit and change my priorities. I'm sure some of you understand. But thank you to all those people who followed me and stuck by for the content that I didn't usually make, and you kept watching it, and I do really, really appreciate it. I call you the sort of super loyal fans who just watch me for me, and they're just interested in what I do. So thank you for that. But the camping videos are coming back. I've got some great, not big multi-day trips planned just yet, but some cool overnights and some good ideas for some builds as well in the future. So thanks, guys, I really appreciate it. I'll put a link in the description to my main channel if you're watching this and going, what the hell, TA Outdoors? I'll put a link into it in the description below. But thanks for sticking by, folks. And I'm trying to get the Land Rover fixed up. There's a few things that I've got to get done to it, and you'll hopefully see some videos on that coming up in the next few weeks or so. So cheers for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.